Okay, so this video is probably gonna be very interesting for you, and this is about basically Looksmaxxing. I'm sure you heard this word before, and that basically means to improve your looks in every way possible. And I'm just gonna get straight to the steps here, to the points, because I don't want to waste your time honestly, and I don't want to waste mine either. So first of all, you've already heard about things like building a good body and doing skincare and buying jewelry and taking care of your facial hair, like, shaving and stuff. And I'm sure you've already heard about all of this, so I won't waste your time with this. Even though they are basically the most important things, especially building a good body. But you've already heard about this. So let's get to the kind of more underrated things. For example, a tip I can give you is to go to your barber, the one that you usually visit, and you don't even necessarily have to be in the need for a haircut right now, but you just go there and you ask him to, tell you what kind of haircut would look good on you, what kind of hairstyle would be best suitable for your facial structure, your kind of clothing and stuff, and your facial features maybe and stuff. And remember that he's an expert about all of this stuff, and he knows. I mean, hopefully he knows his stuff. Obviously, if you're going to a barber that's got like three customer and one of the three is you, maybe don't do this. But if you go to a barber that's kind of frequented by a lot of people, and you can do this, you can go there and ask the professional for help. And I think that a lot of people neglect this. Like, I've never seen anyone do this, honestly. And the moment I did it, and I went and asked him, if he knew what kind of haircut would be best for me, for my face. And he said that this one that I have is kind of good. Like, it's basically one of the best options I could go for. So, and I already had it before I, went to this barber. So, yeah, this is just my kind of experience with this. But yeah, so this is the first tip I can give you: to go to your barber and ask him for help. Now, next thing I want to talk about is fashion. Now, fashion is kind of weird because you have the stuff that never goes out of trend. Stuff like black, like matte black color shit, and it's always gonna look good. If you have a black shirt, maybe with a graphic like this one, it's gonna probably look pretty good, and it's hard to not look good in this. But for stuff like, when you get interested in fashion and you start looking up stuff, I'd recommend Pinterest personally, because it's a really good place, for me at least, for my kind of style. And I go there and I basically look for pictures about men's fashion, and you can get a lot of ideas there. And it's actually pretty underrated, because if you go there, obviously you're not gonna just copy the style of someone. Like, if someone has a specific outfit, you're not just gonna buy that. I mean, you can, because no one cares, but you can do that, and just copy his outfit perfectly. But the thing is, you're gonna wanna be able to have clothes that you can switch. Like, you don't have to have a combination of pants, shirt, and shoes, and you always wear these three combined. You're gonna have to switch it up. Like, you have shirt number one with pants number one, and next day you're gonna have shirt number two with pants number two. But on the third day, you're gonna have shirt number 1 with pants number 2 maybe, and stuff like this, you know, because that's gonna be, first of all, you're gonna spend less because you don't have to buy 12 different outfits, and because it's also more fun. I personally have a lot of fun getting dressed and stuff. I mean, I don't have plenty of clothes, but it's kind of nice to find new combinations. Whenever I, buy a new shirt, for example, I always try to find the best things that fit with it, like a good hoodie that goes over it, and good pants to match it, and stuff like this. So I would personally, my best tip that I could give you for this part is download Pinterest and search for stuff you like. You like streetwear stuff, you search for streetwear outfits, for example, or maybe you like a celebrity, how he dresses, for example. I love how A$AP Rocky wears his stuff, and I have plenty of pictures of his outfits and shit and stuff. So that also works, copying a celebrity basically, but not necessarily copying it. Taking inspiration is good. Now, next thing I'm gonna talk about is photos, like angles and light. So if you want to look the best way possible in a picture, you're gonna have your face pointed directly towards the light, and maybe natural light is usually better, but if you can't, then that's okay. And you're probably not gonna look best from down up. Like if you have your phone down here and you kind of look like this, you're probably not gonna look great. You're gonna have a double chin and stuff, and your proportions are gonna look pretty weird. But apart from this, I would advise to just grab your phone now. You can do this now. There's no problem with this. Like, it takes like 2 minutes. You grab a light and you point it directly towards you, and then you grab your phone. You open your front camera, not your front camera, sorry, the selfie thing. I don't know if it's front or back, but I think it's front camera, and you just point it to make a selfie, and you just move your phone until you find a good angle, basically, and then from that moment on you're gonna know that that's the angle that looks good for you, basically. This is the very broad thing. But then if you're taking pictures, like someone else is taking a picture of you, you're probably not gonna look the best ever, because that's impossible. There are people that are more photogenic and there are people that are less photogenic. For example, I look fucking shit in pictures, but yeah, it's okay. Like, it's not that deep. It's fine. So yeah, find what angle and what lighting looks good on you, like for your face, and then stop taking pictures with other angles that are not like that. Next thing is kind of a weird one, because it's about imperfections basically, and you want to look at your imperfections on your face as uniquenesses and not as mistakes and shit. Because first of all, if you just see them as mistakes, it's not like they're gonna get better, and you're just gonna put yourself down even more, and that's not good. You don't want to do that. And secondly, every single person in the world has something about their face or their body that they don't like, and that's okay, because we're all different. And maybe you have a big nose like I do. I have a pretty big nose, and I don't personally love it, but I've learned to be, feel comfortable with it. And or maybe you have a mole that's in a weird place, like this one, that's very close to my lips, and I don't personally like it either, but now I don't even notice it, basically. And like, if you look at every single celebrity, they're gonna have something about their face that's not perfect. So it's like, why would you be perfect? No one is. So if you have, maybe your nose isn't precisely symmetrical, or maybe your eyebrows are too big and stuff like this, it's okay, because if you had everything that's perfect and everyone had this, life would be so fucking boring, because no one would be different from each other, and we would all look the same, and it would be just plain and boring and stuff. So learn to see your imperfections as uniquenesses and not mistakes. Now, the last tip I can give you is to start mewing, and you may have heard this before, but it's mewing is basically a practice where you press your tongue up against the roof of your mouth, basically, and you're gonna have to not just the tip, the whole tongue is gonna have to be pressed against the roof of your mouth, and that's gonna remove this part of the neck, like the chin, and this is a demonstration. Basically, this is how you are normally, and when you do this practice, you become like this. Look. And that's gonna have a very, like, the difference is pretty crazy over the long run as well, because this is not just in the moment, because obviously in the moment you can see the change, but this practice has been shown to basically change your skull structure over time, and this means over years of doing this practice every day, like for hours. But when you get used to this, in the beginning I just forgot to do this, and I was doing mouth breathing, and it's not optimal at all for face attractiveness. But when you learn how to just do this naturally, and that happened with me between like 1 to 2 weeks, I was doing it normally. Once you begin to get used to this, you start to feel you start to see the benefits, because maybe your face looks like your jawline, you've seen this right now, your jawline looks more defined, and your neck looks less chubby and stuff. So it's good both for the short term and for the long term as well, because as I said, it's gonna change the way your skull is shaped, so it's good. So yeah, that's it. That was the last tip for this video. I'm sorry if this video had no like editing and stuff, because I thought that this would have really looked good if I had like edits of stuff like showing what I was talking about, basically. But I have no idea how to edit and insert pictures and shit. So if you are someone that knows about this stuff, then please hit me up, and we can work together basically, because I would really benefit from this. And yeah, so I'd be down to pay you as well if you do a good job. So yeah, I hope you learned something from this, and see you in the next video.